My hugot essay plus my hugot acronym for the day, PhD. People who want to attain the highest ladder of education, top level of achievement, and the greatest success of all educational honors always reaches out for their PhD, for their doctor in philosophy, doctor in public administration, or any other doctoral degree. Being the highest symbol of educational excellence, men strongly sacrifice and vigorously persevered towards it. Hence, he was able to master it, conquer it, and emerge as champions in numerous fields of expertise. This key to success widely opened the doors of opportunities for the great educators and great learners as they held top positions in government and also in the different socio-civic institutions. But for me, the meaning of PhD came out accidentally and differently. This word became so striking, memorable, and worth keeping. Foremost, I came to learn it during a travel to attend the funeral of a relative in Lalo, Cagayan years back, together with my architect nephew Mark, along with his wife, and my office church choir karaoke buddy, Tony Purificacion, who has happily retired and now resides in California, USA. Significantly, the word PhD was coined and shared to me by a wonderful old person whom I have met then in that occasion. I called her Tita because she was the best friend of my deceased relative. Sorry for having forgotten her first name, as it occurred less than a decade ago. So, may I respectfully call her using the symbolic name that is being referred most often to the Filipino women, Juana. Like my demise relative, Tita Juana was filled with a radiant disposition, positive outlook, and inspired wisdom that can put a magic spell to anyone whom she may encounter. That word that she has shared became a word to remember, a word to live by, and a cornerstone for my development as a person. That very word took its toll, its meaning and form, when I invited Tita Juana to ride us back to the city of Tugigaraw. It was an interesting hour-long journey back home as she shared her success, happiness, and viewpoints in life. It seemed like listening to a spontaneous person filled with life's fervor and delight, which is truly an amazing sight to behold. Listening to her story is likened to reading an inspiring book or watching a heartwarming movie. Moreover, she also shared new insights and perspectives on life, on how it should be dealt with, on how it should be lived fully and work out completely. For the PhD word that she has shared, it became a Solomonic word inside of me, a simple three-worded acronym that can pour beauty, spark wonders, and embrace contentment inside one's heart and soul. A word that no successful person nor a living hero can ever think of. A word that can defeat all doctoral degrees and put them into rest. A word so meaningful, purposive, spellbinding, and magical that all the great men, near great people, and not so great persons would want to attain someday. As King Solomon is foretold, and as shared by the story of Tita Juana, that man, especially in his younger years, shall always be blinded by his appetites, pleasures, and senses. That man will eventually enjoy life as he pleases. That man will definitely learn his greatest lessons from his own follies. That man will have a rundown of mistakes, errors, blunders, and misadventures until he will soon realize and feel what is truly good and beneficial. That only in such times, when man has truly felt and experienced his inner woes, troubles, and sufferings, will he resolutely determine to rebound back to become a better person. That only when man has felt his problems in the dark, that is when he shall swear in to be only with the light. That only when man has been sidetracked or hindered by his own illness, shall he avenge himself to recover and become healthier. That only when man has been pushed hither and thither by the onset of stresses, plights, calamities, plus the sudden pandemic, will now strongly resolve himself against all odds to rise again to say no, and never surrender to anything that hampers along his way. When all there is in life has been said and done, when we have attained everything that life has to offer, when we have accomplished our mission, when we have finished all our assignments, when our Hades has been gone, and life now turns into monotony, when we are already tired of enjoying life's pleasures, when all our senses seem to weaken and diminish day by day, when our physical strength is constantly draining us, and our very life is now largely dependent on taking daily maintenance, when all our senses are slowly failing us, and moving our very own limbs becomes a difficulty. This is now the time when emperors, kings, sultans, billionaires, as well as the less fortunate, needy, disadvantaged, and paupers will meet to have their common ground. As my best cousin, best buddy's favorite reminder would signify, soon we shall all be fallen leaves, falling eventually into our simple, destined proper place, be it either we are rich nor poor, the same is available and ready for all into this common ground. As Tita Juana aptly suggests, this common ground is the only common denominator wherein the highest or lowest forms of humanity could share such destiny or would want to attain. When all has been hoped and achieved, and there is no more to gain except this one final wish and prayer, that is to be accorded or awarded a PhD, which is a peaceful, a happy death.